Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Kate, community lead at Leather Wallet. Today, I'm diving into one of the most unique and easiest ways to earn Bitcoin in the Stacks ecosystem. It's called stacking. Stacking lets you earn real Bitcoin by helping secure the Stacks network. It's a straightforward way to grow your Bitcoin holdings. So over the next 10 minutes, I'll cover what stacking is, why it matters, and how you can get started using wallets like Leather and Xverse. All right, let's jump into it. So what is stacking? Stacking is the process of locking your stacks, or STX tokens, in order to help secure the Stacks blockchain. In return, you earn real Bitcoin rewards paid straight to your Bitcoin address. As a stacker, you're providing a critical service to the Stacks network, maintaining consensus of the chain, and the protocol rewards you in Bitcoin for doing it. Stacking has been live and operating securely and reliably since 2021. And historically, yields have paid stackers around 7 to 10% APY. But I want to highlight two key points here. The first one, rewards to stackers come in Bitcoin through proof of transfer. This is the main mechanism of the Stacks chain. Miners commit Bitcoin for the right to mine Stacks blocks, and that Bitcoin is distributed directly to stackers. So that's where the yield comes from. Second, your Stacks always remains in your wallet. They're locked at the protocol level, so they're never moved elsewhere, and they become usable again to you at the end of each stacking cycle, but only if you want them to. Otherwise, they can stay stacking and earning. So why does all of this matter? Well, stacking is the only way to passively earn Bitcoin at the protocol level directly through consensus. By participating, you're strengthening the Stacks chain, which ultimately unlocks a better environment for DeFi activity and new use cases on Bitcoin. And for Bitcoiners, it's powerful because it gives you a way to grow your Bitcoin without needing to risk what you already hold. Here's what stacking looks like in action today. The current reward rate is around 7 to 9% APY in Bitcoin. There's over 580 million STX that are already locked, securing the network. And this means that more than 3,600 Bitcoin have been rewarded to stackers over the lifetime of the protocol. And in the last recent stacking cycle, there was nearly 11 BTC paid out to stackers. All right, let's jump into how this actually works. There's two main paths that you can choose as a stacker. The first one is called solo stacking. This means you're running your own signer software and you're meeting a higher stacking minimum of around 120,000 STX. This gives you direct participation and independence, but it's more advanced and a slightly higher barrier to entry. The much more approachable path for the everyday stacker is called delegated stacking. This means you pool your STX with others, and then you let the pool operator handle signing and reward distribution. And you can get started with as little as 40 STX this way. There's some really amazing pools out there that make it super easy to get started. And I'll shout out Stacking DAO, who is nearing the 100 million STX milestone. So soon, 1 in every 6 STX that are stacked will be through their pool. Now, stacking runs in roughly 2-week reward cycles based on Bitcoin blocks. Each cycle has 2 phases. The first phase is called the prepare phase. This lasts about 100 Bitcoin blocks, and this is where new stackers commit their stacks. Then comes the reward phase. This lasts about 2,000 Bitcoin blocks, and this is where miners transfer their Bitcoin to the stackers' reward addresses. So this whole process takes around 2,100 Bitcoin blocks, which translates to about 2 weeks. Now, you can choose to unlock your stacks at any time, and they will become usable to you again at the end of the stacking cycle. But again, I want to point out that no one takes custody of your stacks during the cycle. They just become unusable at the protocol level while they're helping provide consensus to the chain, and then they become spendable again in your wallet once the cycle ends. So next, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to do this in practice. For this example, I'm going to use Leather Wallet, and then I'll slightly touch on how you can get started with Xverse as well. All right, let's put this all together. I'm going to walk you through stacking using Leather Earn's dashboard. So step 1 is make sure you have Leather installed on the browser extension. And then let's go to the stacking tab. This is where you'll be able to compare the different pools where you can stack, the rewards that they pay out in, and then also the minimum commitments. So there's some pools that are as low as 40 stacks, ranging up to 200. Obviously, you can put as much as you would like in. Let's go ahead and connect our Leather wallet. For this example, I'm going to choose the Plan Better pool because they do pay out in Bitcoin, as we've been talking about. I will enter their minimum. Like I said, the minimum is 200, but you can choose to delegate a lot more if you would like. Now we're going to sign the contract and go through the transaction approval process. That's it. Your stacks are now locked and you're officially stacking. And in the meantime, your Bitcoin rewards will show up directly in your Bitcoin address, which is the Bitcoin address that is linked to this account in your Leather wallet. If you'd like to stack with experts, you can also do this with their stacking pool. They do have a minimum of 500 STX, and they also have a 2-week cycle, and they pay out in Bitcoin rewards as well. One of the best parts about stacking is that your STX never actually leaves your wallet. It's locked at the protocol level. And so while your STX is locked, you're earning real Bitcoin that flows directly to your Bitcoin address. So I have a simple call to action for you. Download Leather or Xverse and try stacking with whatever amount feels most comfortable to you. Even if it's small, it gives you the experience of earning Bitcoin passively in a safe and simple way. So if you want to go deeper, there's a lot of guides, docs on stacks.co, but there's also great resources through Leather, Xverse, Stacking DAO, and other community resources where you can learn about solo stacking, running a signer, or even pool operations. But the best way to start is hands-on. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and happy stacking to you all.